This is Formative 4.1 Topics in Review. I'm going to discuss here some of the topics that are going to be on your formative on Friday. I want to go through and discuss some of these and kind of give you an idea of what to expect on your quiz. As the very first thing that we're going to look at here in terms of things that are on your quiz, be prepared. I mean, this is pretty obvious, but be prepared to find the area of the following shapes here. We got the squares, rectangles, parallelograms. That's from section 10.1. And then trapezoids, rhombus, and kites, which is section 10.2. Okay? So you need to be prepared to find the areas of those 6 shapes. Okay? Sometimes they'll give you the base and the height on some of them. Sometimes they'll give you the lengths of the diagonals, or they'll give you the bases and the height, all that kind of stuff. They'll give you exactly what you need. Sometimes they'll do that. A lot of times they won't. You have to also be prepared to find the side of a shape or its height given the area. So I may say the area of the parallelogram is 48. It has a height of 6. Find the base. Or I might say, okay, the area of the trapezoid is 52. The 2 bases are 12 and 20. Find the height. Okay, so it's not always going to be finding area. Sometimes they'll give you the area and you have to find the area of the shape. Okay, be prepared to leave your decimal or leave your answer as a decimal or in simplest radical form. That means square roots, depending on the directions. Sometimes they're going to leave you in your directions. Okay, if they say in the directions to leave it in simplest radical form, there has to be a square root in your answer, no decimals. Okay, and that's when it's necessary. So the only time you're going to have a square root in an answer is if it is a trapezoid. I would write that down and make sure you know that. The only time you're going to have a square root in an answer is if it's a trapezoid. Okay? Otherwise, everything else you can write as decimals. Okay? And most of the time, unless they tell you otherwise, just round it to the nearest 10th place. Okay? Other things that you'll need to be able to know how to do on your area. One other thing that I forgot to put in here is you're also going to have to be able to find the area of triangles. Okay? Don't forget the area of triangles as well. Half times base times height, or base times height divided by 2, either way. Okay? You're also going to have to be able to draw a shape on a coordinate plane. I might give you A, B, C, D, tell you their coordinates. Okay? You've had this on both homework assignments. A, B, C, D, write out their coordinates, and find the area of the shape using its vertices. Now, remember, you're going to use the distance formula to find the lengths of the sides, to figure out the base and the height. The distance formula. Okay? All that stuff doesn't go away. So once you find the lengths of those sides, or it could be diagonals, either way, then you're able to find the area of whatever shape it is that you have. Okay? But you got to draw them out first. That is on your formative. Matter of fact, it's the last 2 problems. You have the last 2 problems where you have to draw a shape given the coordinates and tell me what the area is of that shape. Okay. You'll also have to be able to, we talked about this in class yesterday. I give you a shape with 2 right triangles and you have to find the area where the missing part's in the middle. Okay. And you create that square, or it could be a rectangle. I mean, either way. And then find the area of that middle missing triangle. Take the area of the rectangle or square minus the area of the middle triangle that you have. We talked about that in class yesterday. Okay? So those are kind of the things you're going to have to be able to find. Understand as well, know what perimeter means. Perimeter is the distance around the outside. So if I happen to say that the perimeter of a square is, let's say the perimeter of a square is 16. Find the area. Well, you know all the sides are equal. So you take the 16, you divide it by 4, that gives you the amount of each side, which is 4. Okay? So understand that you're going to have to know what perimeter is a little bit as well. Okay? All right, so this kind of gives you a good idea of the topics that are going to be on your formative tomorrow. Okay, make sure you look at it, make sure you study your homework, make sure you look at your homework that you've done, study your notes, know the formulas. Okay, know the formulas for each one of these shapes. Most of them are all, I mean, a majority of them are the same. The only ones that are different, I mean, you look at these three right here are all the same. Squares, rectangles, parallelograms. Areas, base times height. Trapezoid is the one that's a little bit different. The rhombus and the kites are together. These two are the same. Half times diagonal 1, diagonal 2. The triangles are related to the top three where you've got base times height and then you just cut it in half, divided by 2. You need to know those formulas. You're not going to be given those formulas on your test. You're going to need to know them. That's important. That's something that you're going to have to study and use to review. Okay? All right, so hopefully this gives you a little bit better idea what to expect on your quiz tomorrow. There's a total of about 14, 15 questions on your quiz. So that way, you know, you're prepared, okay, for the quiz on Friday.